Hello everyone, in this video I'll show you how to make a backup power system for an apartment or a house. I make these systems to order, so if you can't assemble one yourself, you can order it from me. Just write in the comments or message me on Telegram. So, the first thing we'll need is a metal cabinet like this. We'll put all the necessary components inside it. The width of this panel is 40 centimeters and the depth is 20. Its height is 70 centimeters. On the edges, you need to pull out 2 cotter pins so you can remove the door. You need to mark the top of the box. 2 ventilation grills will be placed here. These are the grills that will be used, measuring 100 by 100. It needs to be disassembled and the mosquito net removed. It's not needed here. Next, we place the grill against the panel and mark 2 holes that need to be cut out using an angle grinder. This video turned out a bit long because I'm showing everything in detail. This way, so you can make this system yourself, you need to make a hole in the upper left corner through which the cable will be fed. At the bottom of the box, using a hole saw, you need to drill 4 holes which are also needed for ventilation, and you need to drill the same holes along the edges of the box. At the top of the panel, we install a cable gland and 2 square ventilation grills. I attach the grills using small metal screws, which are commonly called self-tappers. I'll say it again, if you can't assemble such a system yourself, you can order it from me. Along the edges of the panel and at the bottom, you need to install round ventilation grills. They fit very tightly, so you can tap them in a bit with a mallet. Next, you need to install a DIN rail inside the box, and after that, you'll need the next component, the reserve input circuit breaker. I'm using a Thomson for 125 amps. As you can see, everything is sealed and absolutely new, so you don't have to worry and can order with confidence. This is what this ATS looks like. The next thing you'll need is a voltage relay. I'm also using a Thomson for 40 amps. It's needed to protect against voltage surges. And the last thing you need is a 16 amp circuit breaker. We install all these modules on the DIN rail so that everything is assembled securely and neatly. We install the pads to which the cable will be attached. They are attached using double-sided tape, which can be bought at an electrical goods store. Next, we take pieces of wire, strip the insulation from them, and be sure to crimp them with ferrules. Now we attach these wires to all the modules. The wires are connected in advance because once all the equipment is installed, it will be inconvenient to work with these modules. And you will see the wiring diagram for all the equipment that will be installed in this panel a bit later, roughly at the end of the video. Using cable ties, we attach 4 long wires to the pads. These will go to the indicator lights. This is how everything should turn out. Inside the panel, you also need to screw in 4 M6 coupling nuts. From the back side of the panel, take a short bolt so that it screws into the nut about halfway. All of this needs to be tightened well with a wrench. Now, the main device needed for our backup power system is the inverter. I'm using a mask inverter rated at 2 kW. It's reliable, has a proper pure sine wave output, and its power is enough for everything. Unscrew the 3 screws and remove the cover, then in the same way connect short pieces of wire to the inverter. This is done in advance because once we place it in the panel, it will be impossible to close the cover on the inverter. All the terminals are labeled, so you'll easily figure out what goes where. There's a screw for grounding in the lower left part. For connecting the battery, I use wires of the required gauge and always crimp them because there will be a high current and nothing should heat up. If you're going to do it yourself, you can buy pre-crimped wires. They are available for sale. Next, we close the cover, screw in the 3 screws and place the inverter inside the panel. Using screws, we fasten the inverter to the coupling nuts. In the door of the panel, you need to drill 2 holes with a diameter of 20 mm, and after that, we put it back in place. Into the drilled holes, we install the indicator lights, green and red. They are needed so you can understand what your house or apartment is powered from the city grid or from the inverter. Above each lamp, I stick labels. Green will indicate operation from the city grid, red will indicate operation from the inverter. This is how everything should look. Next, we connect the wires to the lamps, which we left with some extra length. At the bottom of the inverter, you need to attach the terminal block and then connect everything according to the diagram shown on the screen. As you can see, it's simple. Just connect all the wires attached to the existing modules as shown in the diagram. By the way, if you order this system from me, I will help you connect it to your apartment over the phone. Above the terminal block, I stick a label with markings showing what needs to be connected and where. And the last thing you need for our backup power system is a good battery. I use a lithium iron phosphate one from Doom. It has a built-in 100 amp BMS board and a long lifespan up to 6,000 charge-discharge cycles. We place it inside the panel and connect the wires to its terminals. This battery has a capacity of 100 amp hours and it will charge from this inverter in about an hour and a half. If you use a TV, refrigerator, internet, gas boiler, lighting and charge various gadgets, this system will last you about 8 hours. Well, our backup power system is complete. As you can see, it's not difficult to make. You can install such a panel in your building's entryway and lock it. Now I'll show you how to connect this system to your apartment. Here's a standard diagram with a main circuit breaker and one for the apartment. You need to install the backup power system nearby and run a 5-conductor or 4-conductor cable into it. Connect 2 wires to the terminals labeled input. Then, from the circuit breaker that goes to the apartment, you need to disconnect the apartment wiring. Instead of it, connect the same wires that we connected to the terminal block labeled input. Another circuit breaker is installed somewhere nearby, to which the other 2 wires from the cable are connected, and the apartment wiring is connected to the output of this circuit breaker. The 2 wires that we connected to the new circuit breaker need to be connected to the terminal block in the ATS panel, to the terminals labeled input. If your house has grounding, then the 5th wire needs to be connected to the middle terminal of the block. Now we change the labels. The new circuit breaker now goes to the apartment, and the old one goes to the ATS panel. That's it, the backup power system is connected to your apartment. Now let's move on to testing it. Turn on all the circuit breakers, then open the panel and also turn on its circuit breaker. After that, press the inverter power button in the lower right corner and wait for everything to start up. By the way, if you order this system from me, I will program the inverter and set the necessary and correct parameters before selling it. After the signal, close the door. The system has started and is ready to work. The green light indicates that there is electricity, and you can also see this on the meter. For clarity, let's plug a light bulb into the socket and simulate a power outage. The red light came on, which means everything is running from the inverter. Turn on the main circuit breaker and the green light comes on again. This means everything is running from the city grid. As you can see, everything works perfectly. If anyone needs such a system, you can order it from me. Just leave a comment or contact me on Telegram. Thank you all for watching.